Do you remember playing football as a kid and not caring about the weather? If it's raining, so what? Let's go outside, slip and slide around, attempt to catch a pass or two. That was fun, but maybe not so much when you're trying to do it for real as a varsity football player.
Well, as a former high school quarterback myself, with small hands and a rainy day, I could do without those nights. We had delays all across Central Florida, but we survived and conquered the elements, and now it's time for Football Friday night. Let's go!
They're coming in from far and wide, filled with team spirit and hometown pride. All fired up from the big pepper rally last night. Hear the marching band playing the fight song. Teams charging the field, ready to get it on. Cheerleaders working up the crowd with all their might. That's what I love about a high school football Friday night.
Welcome into Football Friday Night, presented by McCoy Federal Credit Union. I'm Alex Walker. He's Jared Oliver. Man, I am still drying out. I had a raincoat, rain pants, did not matter. The conditions unrelenting tonight. There were lightning and weather delays, a common theme across the region, and that was the case also at our game of the week.
Seminole hosting Osceola in a rematch of the 2020 state championship game. The Seminoles won the title here and also beat the Cowboys by one last season in Kissimmee. Let's see what's in store for tonight. Both teams exchanging blows in this series, and after a lightning delay, that back and forth battle continuing tonight in Sanford. Rain at the start. Seminole showing guts, going for it on fourth down inside the 20, but the Cowboys defense stands up. 4 plays later, the Noles defense returns the favor and sacks Cameron West, which pins the Cowboys deep in their own territory. Now forced to punt from their own goal line. Juan Burchell misses the snap, and we got bad business here. Lorenz Walker recovers it in the back of the end zone for a touchdown to make it 7-0. Later in the second quarter, Traven Clark gets the direct snap 5 yards out, and he's in for 6. The Noles go up by 2 scores. Final 2 minutes of the first half. West looks deep for a prayer, but it's not answered. Corey Smith gets the interception for Seminole and pays the price. Seconds left in the first half. Carson Sakarios-Lasky steps up in the pocket and delivers a perfect ball in stride to Michael Key, a dagger to end the first half. 21-0 Seminole. Third quarter action. Here's some life for the Cowboys. Zion Matthews guts the Seminoles defense, and he's gone for 45 yards for a house call. That made it 21-6. The Noles tack on 10 more. Seminole wins in a blowout fashion, 31-6. Our Shane Whitehead was there and joins us with more from our game of the week.
This game started 30 minutes late because of lightning. There was steady rain at kickoff, and it stayed that way through the entire first half. But the wet weather didn't seem to bother Seminole. They were able to take advantage of some Osceola mistakes and build that 21-point lead.
I thought the guys came out and accomplished the mission. You know, they were really fired up, played against a great team, and we came out and executed on all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, and it showed tonight.
Wet track didn't seem to bother you early on.
No, you know, we came out and tried to run the ball and establish the run and try to get going. You know, when you got to go with the conditions and got to play what you got to play with.
We faced some adversity on the first 2 drives. We couldn't get it done. You know, we came back, went over the film, and we went back out there. We just made it happen. We got to help our defense out. They had a phenomenal performance. Only let up 6 points, and, you know, we got to help them out. And got the W.
Off to a 2-0 start. How do you build on this?
You build on that by keep doing what we've been doing, working hard in the weight room, working hard in film, and doing what they're coached to do, and just playing hard every week and every day.
So for the 3rd straight time, Seminole tops Osceola. The Seminoles improved to 2-0, and it's been a while since we said Osceola falls to 0-2. At Seminole High School, Shane Whitehead, Football Friday night on 9.
Thank you, Shane. And over at Edgewater High School, the Eagles with a gut check win in week 1, 24-19 against their neighbors from Bishop Moore. Tonight, the Eagles staying at home to welcome the Knights of Clearwater Academy International. Kickoff postponed nearly an hour due to lightning. This view was worth it, though. Double rainbow. What a view. All across the sky. Hey, but after those pretty colors left, back comes the rain and the sloppy play. But man, the Eagles defense came to play. Damon Troutman, he was awesome tonight. Later that drive, the visitors from Clearwater going for it on 4th down, not a good idea. A flock of Eagles stacking that pile up. Big plays. They were at a premium tonight. Here's one from Edgewater. Michael Clayton to the law firm of Caden Shields Dutton. Bounces off a few tacklers. But later that drive, Clayton's going to try to air it out into the rainy night. And he's picked off by Tovarin Wilson, the sophomore, with a great return near the end of that first quarter. This game was scoreless after one, but in the second, we had some points. Clayton's going to bounce back. He holds an offer from Pittsburgh. Shows you why. 65 yards to Sir Samaj Fleming. Edgewater holds on 15-14 to stay perfect at 2-0. Let's take a look at some other scores from Orange County on this soggy evening. Olympia pounding Oak Ridge 42-6. And a week after Dr. Phillips dropped 76 points, they only score 17 tonight, but they're still 2-0. Down goes Timber Creek 17-7.
A win is a win. Well, University versus Oviedo, a battle between two 1-0 teams. Last week, the Lions outlasted Lake Brantley in a 60-47 shootout on the road. Tonight, the Lions will have to find a way to contain University's offense. Oviedo dominated University last year. The Titans coming into tonight with bad intentions. Opening drive for the Titans quarterback, Malachi Walters, on third down, finds his receiver Dexter Lee beyond the sticks to keep the drive alive in enemy territory. Several plays later, Oviedo gets on the board first. Walters scores up the gut on the option read. The drive chewed up 6 minutes of clock. 7-0 University. Titans back on offense. This time, they give it to Desmond Polis. Gets to the outside, and it's knees to chest down the sideline. University taking Oviedo to class. The Titans take a 2-score lead in the first, 14-zip. Oviedo's offense held in check in the first half. Here comes University again. This time it's number 20. Check out the vision out the backfield. He's gone and crosses the plane. It's 21-0 University. Time to pass the controller sticks. Titans move on to 2-0, winning 37-21. Lake Howell won the toss, and they chose to receive, and Horizon chose to take advantage of wet conditions. A pooch kick that Lake Howell can't handle, and Horizon recovers the fumble and starts with the ball. And then Horizon continues that aggression, going for it on 4th and short. But Lake Howell's defense, Ethan Eagley and Eddie Altamont, combined for the stop, forcing a turnover on downs. Ensuing Lake Howell possession, Luke Barrows calls his own number, rushes for the first down before getting tackled at midfield. The drive would stall there, and Horizon kept the ball on the ground for most of the night. This is a design run for Bo Kinney. Picks up the first down. Later steps up this Andrew Harris touchdown to make it 7-0 Horizon. Lake Howell looks to answer with a run play. Malik Wilkerson is blown up in the backfield by Kinney, making plays on defense and offense. Time running out for Horizon in the first half. Harris hits Mason Cruz for a big gain into the red zone, but time would run out, and the Hawks would have to settle for a 7-0 halftime lead. Horizon wins 24-6. Here are some other scores from across Seminole County. The Greyhounds of Lyman beating Lake Brantley by 16, 28-12, and Westport takes down Winter Springs 35-0.
All right, so I'm a Penn State grad. I grew up watching Big Ten football, and sometimes that means 4 quarters of suffering. I once watched Penn State lose to Iowa 6-4 in 2004, but I've learned to find the beauty in defense. So I can appreciate Apopka's 2-0 win over Ocoee in week 1. The Blue Darters blocking a punt, resulting in a safety. Those were the only points in that strange season opener. Apopka's offense looking to take strides tonight as they hosted West Orange. They scored a pair of touchdowns. That was plenty. Their defense had their backs. Apopka, 9 sacks tonight and a huge interception on the game's final play to seal the deal. The Blue Darters are 2-0, 14-7 the final. How about that?
On the flip side of that 2-0 loss to Apopka was Ocoee. The Knights hosting Wekiva, and a fun matchup. The Ocoee defense with a statement play right here. Joshua Gourier comes up with the interception. How about a pick six, 45-yard touchdown return? 7-0 Ocoee. Later on in the half, Wekiva coughs it up. That's a tough turnover. Ocoee recovers, and that capitalizes on that mistake with 3 points. Ocoee led 10-0 at the half, and they get it done. 13-6 to get their first win of the season. And we are just getting things here started on a Football Friday night on 9. Do not touch the remote.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we check in with an Orange County matchup between Boone and Evans. We'll also head to Seminole County for First Academy Leesburg and Trinity Prep.
Then over on the coast, the Bulldogs and Mustangs battle on Merritt Island. And we take you back to last night, Freedom hosting Columbine High School out of Colorado. But before we give you all the football highlights you want to see, it's time for our first Battle of the Bands.
And a special thanks to Sonic for coming on board this year as the new sponsor for this segment. Now let's get right to it. Here's the pride of Merritt Island. Welcome back to Football Friday Night on 9, presented by McCoy Federal Credit Union. The Boone Braves opening the season last week with a 31-13 romp on the road at Timber Creek. Tonight's opponent, Evans, also 1-0. The Trojans winning a wild one against Lyman 45-36. Boone won last year's meeting with Evans 14-6. They also won 23-20 and 0-4 in the most recent meetings. That rainbow's awesome. What a sight. Early on, Evans moving the football. Chris Peterson keeps it himself, takes it 30 yards to the Boone 35-yard line. But Peterson gets into some trouble, looks to move the chains, picked off by L.J. Wilson right into your living room. The Braves defense coming up with a huge play. That Evans defense, though, countering with a big play of its own. Gaborius to Baldwin. Glorious name, his name and his game, they go together. Comes up with a sack. Back to that Peterson kid for Evans. He's got some speed for the Trojans' attack. This time takes it 40, count them 40 yards all the way to Boone 25. He can scoot. But once again, that Boone defense is going to step up when it really matters. Jaden Frick, the pressure and the sack off the edge. This game's still scoreless. The first half taking a pivot here thanks to special teams. Boone forced a punt near midfield. There's Devontae Grant. He is dangerous on special teams. He is lightning quick. Up the sideline he goes, makes him pay. He's going to take it all the way to the Boone 25, bouncing off dudes. And Evans would cash that in. Ladarius Pryor from 15 yards out loses the ball, but he already crossed the plane. 7-3 Evans at the half, and Evans wins a thriller 19-17. They're 2-0. Let's go to Winter Park. The Saints of Trinity Prep hosting the First Academy out of Leesburg. First Academy up 24-0 at the half, and on the opening possession of the second half, Devin Lavia off to the races. It's 32-zip Eagles. It will get much worse for Trinity Prep. Bryce Norfley showing off the burners, runs right by the Saints. The Eagles soar 53-0, the final score.
Merritt Island opened week 1 with a convincing win against Deltona. Tonight, the Mustangs were at home for a showdown with Melbourne. No better feeling than taking the field in front of your home crowd. Second drive of the game for the Mustangs. On the 11th play of the drive, quarterback Sean Hartman throws to Chris Kelly. The ball goes through his hands, and Kevin Thorpe comes up with the pick for the Bulldogs and returns it into Mustang territory. So let's see what the Melbourne offense can do. Here's a quick throw to the perimeter. Keone Collins can't hold on, and Devontae Peterson picks it off, so Merritt Island gets the ball right back. Huge stop there. A defensive first half it was. 16 seconds to go in the half and no score. Merritt Island has 2 shots to the end zone from the Bulldogs' 8-yard line. They only needed 1. Sean Hartman rolls out and finds Deshaun Thomas for the score, and that caps a marathon drive of 14 plays that started deep in Mustang territory. First drive of the second half in 6 plays. The Mustangs have moved from their 41-yard line to the Bulldogs' 10. Devontae Peterson lines up at quarterback, fakes the end around. Kasim Ross is in to score 14-0 Merritt Island. The Mustangs go on to win 27-6. And in action from last night, the Columbine Rebels from Colorado traveled to the Sunshine State for a Thursday night game against Freedom. Rebels running the veer offense. Quarterback Reeve Holiday on the play action leads Tyler Krigshauser, and he's got daylight in front of him. Gets all the way to the 11-yard line, and then a couple plays later, they were punching in for a touchdown. On the next possession, Rebels find the end zone again. Holiday dumping it off to Mason Marino for a touchdown This one, not even close. Freedom loses 42-0.
Now, despite the rainy weather, we had some explosive plays across Central Florida.
Yeah, no doubt. We looked at all the action, broke down the film, and had to decide who made the cut for the top plays of the week. And did your high school make the cut? Stick around in just a few minutes. We'll let you know.
But first, our Sonic Battle of the Bands continues.
Yeah, and with that, we stay in Orlando to hear the beautiful sounds of the Jones High School Marching Band.
And welcome back to Football Friday Night, presented by McCoy Federal Credit Union.
It is now time for our plays of the week, and we start with play number 1, coming to you courtesy of University Titans running back Desmond Polis. Gets the handoff, bounces outside, and it's knees to chest down the sideline. University taking Oviedo to class tonight. They win 37-21. Titans win 37-21.
Play number 2 comes from Edgewater High School. Michael Clayton, a series after throwing a pick, bounces back and does this. 65 yards to Sir Samaj Fleming, and the Eagles hold on 15-14 to beat Clearwater Academy International. And play number 3 is from our game of the week between Seminole and Osceola. Final seconds of the first half. Carson Sakirios Lasky steps up and airs it out. Michael Keys there. That is a dagger touchdown to end the first half. They beat Osceola. Ooh, that wasn't even close. 31-6 the final. It is time now for our final Sonic Battle of the Bands.
That's right. The Titans of Olympia bring some serious heat at halftime. Take a listen as we take a break here on Football Friday Night.